On this episode of Watch You Talkin About.
Jordan's on vacation this week. And,
I think I just got bit by something.
What does Jordan wear on vacation? I cannot let a brother drink alone.
You know what? Let's wind it up.
What you talking about? It's time for the show right now. Alex and Jordan break it down from the bezel to the crown. Every second counts, no doubt. What you talking about?
Hey, Alex.
Hey, Jordan. How's it going, man?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, but I don't think I'm as good as you, because that's not your regular background.
Yeah, I changed my setup. I got tired of the bookshelf and desk and changed that for some lawn furniture and an ocean way back there. So, yeah, I think the scenery's a little better now.
Yeah. If you haven't picked up already, Jordan's on vacation this week, but we're still recording because that's how dedicated he is to the Watch You Talkin About show. So he's away on vacation, right. And
I think I just got bit by something.
Cool. We'll have a live recording of you getting bitten, dying on vacation.
Call the EMT.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm happy for you. Is it nice and hot? You're having a good time so far?
Yeah, man. We landed last night about 7 o'clock local time, and it was still 27 degrees. It's 28 now. Like the temperature only varies about a degree. It's just with or without sun. So
right.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice place so far. You know, it's
nice.
You know, better than Calgary at minus 20 Celsius instead of plus 28 Celsius. So I'm feeling pretty good about the whole thing right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
What's on your wrist today, brother?
Today on my wrist, because I'm, we've talked about how big of, idiots we are sometimes on this show. And last week, I completely missed one of my favorite watches on my watch collection review. So I decided I should probably wear it this week, even though I did add a screenshot into it on the video. But I'm wearing my Far and Sweat. If you could see it here against the light.
I can see
Far and Sweat Volumes B mixtape. I love this watch. It's such a cool throwback to the 80s. Great vibe, the great blue. My wife has the matching pink one. There's a green one as well. So, yeah, I just wanted to wear it this week because I do enjoy wearing this watch. I wear it often. Just had a brain fart last week and missed it in the collection. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to highlight it a little bit today. Because we've talked about it so much as well, like with this whole thing about the 80s dance party that you wanted to go to and wish you would have had this watch. Like we talked about this watch a bunch on the show, and I completely forgot it. So here it is today. Nice. There you have it. What does Jordan wear on vacation? What's his wrist roll today on vacation?
Well, today I'm rocking the Tag Heuer Aqua Racer 300 professional. COSC certified, all-nerd Olympic spec monster of a watch.
Nice.
And I'm here for, Saturday to Saturday, so 7 days. And believe it or not, I brought a watch for every day.
I want to say I'm surprised. But if I'm at all surprised, it's more that you only took 7 watches.
That's the truth.
I'm assuming some watches will get worn twice. It's not just one a day, because I know you sometimes like to change it up for daytime and evening time.
That's true. So it was really hard. Like I actually originally had planned to bring at least 9, and I thought, man, that's ridiculous. Like, stop it. So I, loaded.
That's
loaded
what I expected.
Yeah. I usually like to say, I mean, what did we go to Vancouver for last year? 3 days. I brought 7 watches. So I can't get it off. Like it's, so anyways,
that's fantastic.
And again, I try to travel with different watches all the time. There's certain ones in the collection that will always come with me. Like this one will always travel with me for sure, because it's just a great, kind of, if you're in the water splash in the pool, it's just a great little watch. I love it. So, man, I'm living large, and
that's awesome.
Just enjoying a solid Lighthouse breakfast beer at it's 11:30, so I'm good.
Yeah, attaboy. So Jordan's on vacation having breakfast beers. It's 11:30 where he is. 9:30 where I am, but I cannot let a brother drink alone. So I'm having a local beer from BC here. It's a high country Kolsch. See, I'm not good with words. I don't know why I try saying ones that I can't. But anyways, so cheers, brother. Enjoy your vacation. Thanks for recording with us today. Not letting you, that's not for me. I'm not letting you drink alone. And it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about vacation watches today. So
cheers, brother.
all right. Before we get into that, seems to be a popular segment of the show. Everyone's talking about it and giving us feedback. Lots of good reviews on Smartwatch Dick, and
we should actually just cut ourselves up and give him the program, really.
Right? We should be just a segment on his show.
Yeah. I see where this is going very quickly.
Yeah. We even got some emails this week from viewers because the editor has some issues. I'm sure Smartwatch Dick is going to address all this. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. He sent us the video and he said, I think this is a gooder. I would really like it if you guys don't watch it ahead of time. And I definitely didn't. I'm assuming Jordan didn't either. He was too busy getting ready to go away and traveling. So I haven't watched this. We're going to, as always, we're going to put ourselves on mute so we don't step on the audio of Smartwatch Dick telling us. But if you're watching us on video, you can see our reactions. And yeah, I'm guess
not gonna
we'll
lie.
just see
I don't know if I know how to mute this mic, so I'll try not to laugh over it.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we'll do what we can here. Yeah, so once again, we have not seen this ahead of time. We'll be watching it live with you guys for the first time. So with that being said, let's pull him up on screen here. And let's
look at that handsome devil.
Look at him. Just sitting there smiling, just waiting. Just
like
waiting to let us have it. Yeah.
You can see the anticipation in his face that he's like, oh, I can't wait to get you guys. Yeah. Like you can look at his face.
So happy.
So happy to roast the boys.
Yeah, so happy. All right. Let's go.
Neat picks. Corrections incoming with Smartwatch Dick.
Hey guys, thanks for having me back. Big news this week. Smartwatch Dick is finally on Instagram at Smartwatch Dick. Now, to be fair, I don't know what I'm doing on there, but come on over, give me a follow, check things out. I can't guarantee I'll communicate with you because, like I said, I don't know what's going on, but I'm there now. All right, wrist check. Big one today. We have the Garmin Venue 3 with the special edition Smartwatch Dick face. Yeah. Anyways, on to the nitpicks. We're doing something a little different this week. This week, I brought receipts. Roll the first clip.
I really appreciate that Smartwatch Dick spent 2 hours on the COSC certification website learning about, how much goes into testing an average wristwatch.
Oh. Really, Jordan? An average wristwatch? A COSC certified watch is an average wristwatch. I did not expect that from you. Shame. All right, on to the next one.
And then this is one of the smartwatches.
Look, how are we going to get the stink off us once you put that in your watch box? I'm surprised your watch box didn't start on fire.
All right, this is more on brand for Jordan. I'm surprised it didn't go at him harder, actually. Alex, what the hell, man? You got that in your watch and you're still making fun of me all the time? Ridiculous. You're living a lie. In all seriousness, I know that's a golf watch. Looks like it's probably a Garmin Approach S60 if I had to guess. Once the weather turns and the snow is gone, we'll get a chance to swing some clubs and maybe we'll do a feature on the Garmin watches. Fingers crossed.
That was a great one to share with you. I loved all the pictures.
And you know what else too? I think there's something like if I say, okay, I love, if I love Breitling watches, and then I see like somebody like yourself whose opinion I respect, or will go even a tier up and say like a Teddy Baldessere or a you know, a Nico Leonard or, you know, Britt Pierce, whose channel I really enjoy.
Ooh, little stiff, Jordan. Alex, your opinion will always be top tier to me.
All right, today I am rocking my Venezianico Redentor. Oh, I can never say it right. Oh,
Easy for you to say.
I have my Venezianico Rentador. I hope I'm saying that right.
Well, you're probably murdering it. They'll get you.
I'm probably murdering it. All you Italians can leave comments below telling me how I really suck at this. Anyways.
All right, Alex. The good news is you don't have to wait for the commenters. Your very own smartwatch Dick is Italian. Now, I know you struggled to say the name of that watch. I'm going to help you out. Listen closely. It's the
Venezianico Redentore.
Got that? I know it can kind of be hard to pick up on the dialect, but it's pretty simple to pronounce. All right. Now, we got a few more. These are going to be rapid fire corrections of some of the watch names you guys said.
And then my G-Shock. Good old G-Shock.
You know those G-Shock guys. Love to know what model it is. That's the GT110AS.
Casio Blue digital. I love my digital watches and my Casio World Time.
And by Casio Blue Digital, he clearly means F108WH.
Today I'm wearing my Black Bay Burgundy.
That's not a Black Bay Burgundy. That's a Black Day 58 with a burgundy dial.
There's a chance I'm going to end up in the water trying to get my dog or something out of something that he's gotten himself into. So waterproof is a big deal out here for me. So
after all the 80s party talk, I can't believe, Alex, you forgot that watch and the producer had to add in the Far and Swit Volume 2 B-side watch in post. That's it from the guys this week. Alex, you did make a point of mentioning that my birthday is coming up. Any of you out there, you got my email address, wytanitpicks@gmail.com. We'll gladly accept gift cards. Anything watch related, even just birthday wishes. Or if you're going to be in the Calgary area at the start of May and want to come to the party, you can maybe even score an invite. Shoot me an email and ask. You can come out, meet the whole What You Talking About crew. All right, now, speaking of the email address, we got a viewer nitpick from Jeremy. Let's take a look. Jeremy took great glee in pointing out that spelling error, and some might think, hey, that's a little petty. Not me, though. That's right up my alley. Spelling errors, math errors, speaking, pedantic stuff like that. Those are the nitpicks I'm looking for. Thanks a lot, Jeremy. Much appreciated. That's it for the nitpick segment this week. As always, hit me on the email, wytanitpicks@gmail.com. Follow us all on Instagram. You got Head Crash Chronicles, you got Duke Durango, and my new Smartwatch Dick Instagram. Like, comment, subscribe to the videos, anything you can. That all helps us out. We appreciate you being around. Keep tuning in every week. And hey, one of my Yelp reviews is really popular. I gotta go see which one it is. See you next week.
I love that guy, man. That is so good. That is so good. I like it. I like it that he catches us misnaming our own watches. That's the best part.
I mean, all I'm going to say in my defense is I warned everyone it would happen. It happened. I told you.
Oh, God. Smartwatch Dick is the best.
Oh, that's so funny. You know, I really want to say this, and I do not want to say this. I just want to say, and I don't know if they'll ever hear this, but to the people that at Venezianico,
oh my
I'm
gosh,
so
you
sorry.
Still did it.
I'm
going to help you.
I can't.
I'm going to help you right now. People, get ready for Linguistics 101 with Jordan. Venezia, Nico. Venezia, Anico. Venezia, Anico. Venezia, Anico.
Venezia,
because Venice in Italian is Venezia, right? So it's just Venezia, Anico. Venezianico.
I'm sorry. I'm not good at words.
That's okay. I can speak very good Italian. I can also say, take a time, make a job.
Perfect.
Yeah.
If whoever's editing this could just like Smartwatch Dick, just put that in for me. Anyway, to the fine people at that amazing watch company that have spoiled me rotten with one of their watches, I apologize. It's absolutely no disrespect. It's more just poking fun at myself for being a moron. So please don't take it that way. If nothing else, we're sure going to talk about you guys a lot.
Yeah. I mean, no one will know what the real name is, but they're going to hear it a lot.
Yeah. So
look for the Italian watches, Venezia something.
Yeah.
So I like this.
Yeah, once again.
You know what makes this person sound confident is when you say a name with a question mark at the end, right? Like, what kind of watch is that? A Venezianico?
Venezianico?
Rentador? Yeah. See? We'll get there. Man. We'll get there.
Well, I will get there one day, people. I will get there. Yeah. Oh, another great segment by Smartwatch Dick.
Oh. Yeah, like I said last week, that guy's quickly becoming my favorite part of this show. Like, I love getting roasted. It's hilarious.
He's got some fine editing skills. Maybe he should replace whoever's doing our stuff. I don't know who it is, but
no, he'll just make us look worse than he already does.
yeah, that's a good, fair point. Yeah, we don't have to give him the whole video to point out errors.
Exactly, we already give him enough ammunition.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. So this week, in keeping with the theme, Alex and I have decided to talk about vacation watches. This is a big thing for watch people. It's always a question of, if you have more than one or two or three or five watches, what do you travel with? What do you take on vacation? Is there anything specific? Do you travel with one watch? Do you travel with 20 watches? Do you have enough for 2 watches a day, or do you just take one watch on vacation and, smart watch it up for the whole time? Yeah, I said it.
The joke's never going away, people.
No, I'm actually on vacation with a friend who's a doctor, and she's wearing a smartwatch because she has patients, and sometimes critical information comes to her on that smartwatch. Those are the people that need smartwatches. The rest of us just like toys.
True. Yeah.
Fair Nothing point. But respect for Doc Kev.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So in going with that, so we're going to talk about vacation watches. Obviously, we want to hear your opinions and theories on all the questions you just kind of posed. That was the whole idea behind this. We'll talk about this. I'll try and throw something in, so I'm not just sitting here staring at Jordan's beautiful watches again. I'm just not on vacation right now, so.
Yeah, but I mean, Alex, I have to fly for 5.5 hours, actually 6.5 by the boat. Anyways, to get to a place with scenery like this where I could do a good take, where you just walk out your front door and literally have a Hollywood movie set as your backyard. So you don't need to go on vacation.
Fair enough. Yeah, and in the summer, I won't have the palm trees, but you might see the lake and the mountains in my background on a few of these episodes too. So we'll see how that goes.
and you'll have your boat all scratched up from your watches.
Absolutely. Just hucking my watches at the boat.
Hucking's a funny word.
Yeah.
So when go ahead, man.
Oh, I was just going to say, so you mentioned earlier you brought 7 watches for travel. I'm assuming that's including the one that you wore on the trip, or you wore one and brought. So 7 in total.
No, I wore one and brought 6 spares.
Okay.
And so I brought the Aqua Racer 300. I brought my Christopher Ward 12. I brought my Zelos Black Tip GMT. I brought my Zelos Aurora just because that's an ice blue dial and it's just beautiful near the water. Oh, and I brought my my Tudor Black Bay 58 Burgundy Rich, and I also brought my Tudor Black Bay 1. So that's the full complement for this trip. So, and I'll tell you, I spend way more time. I spent probably, and I'm not proud of this, just the truth. I spent probably an hour trying to decide what watches to wear. Right? Like it's so funny to pack for a trip because I literally open up the short store, grab 6 pairs of shorts, open up the underwear, grab double the amount of underwear because you never know. Grab a few socks, throw a few t-shirts into the pile. It takes me about 15 minutes to pack, and I spend an hour looking at watches. And my wife's like, "Are you done packing?" No, I'm picking watches. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say I believe you that it was only an hour. I think you're underestimating the time, or it was an hour that day, but you probably spent hours on days before that also switching up the order a few times. I would probably put money on.
Well, and I guess if we also put a time on, picking the watches, but just time spent thinking about what watches I'm going to take on vacation, it was definitely more than an hour. So.
Yeah. So what's your thought process when you're picking watches for your vacation? What are you like looking for? Are you looking for, obviously you have an idea of you're going to go out for some nice dinners. You want to have something nicer. Are you switching up more rubber straps? Do you switch out bracelets? Do you change anything? Do you just I was going to ask.
I missed. You said, sorry, buddy, you said rubber strap. I have my Duckworth Press X here. Okay, nice. Orange dial, orange rubber strap. That's a beach watch if there ever was.
That's such a vacation watch. Yeah. And one of the other things I was going to ask, is there any type of, any watches in your collection, maybe on the higher end, that you maybe steer away from bringing, but you kind of told us what you brought. And it's not that you're necessarily shying away from any watches in your collection coming on vacation with you.
Well, what I bring and what I wear in certain places can be a little bit different. So, I mean, you hear, especially in Europe, in London in particular, where people are wearing their Rolexes and get robbed in the streets for their watches. I do have that somewhat in the back of my mind when I'm choosing watches, but I also don't wear Rolexes or Richard Milles or anything that I would call extremely distinguishable from a distance or that somebody's really going to notice. So the only watch that I would say I'm not probably going to travel with would be my Christopher Ward Bel Canto. And for no other reason, this is just the truth. It's not the most legible face in the world. Like the dial can be a little bit hard to read in certain lights. So when I travel, I always want my watches to be easily legible, and the other thing is and this is going to sound ridiculous, I somewhat travel with the watches that, God forbid, somebody broke into my house. I've got my favorite watches in my pocket. They're not at my, they're not at my house. You put them in the safe and you do the best you can, but you can only do so much.
Yeah, I hear you. That's such a Jordan statement. Like, I know my watches are safest when they're with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'll fight
we
anyone
have a house
to the
sitter,
death.
Oh yeah. Just go ahead, rob my wife, whatever. Don't touch my watches. Yeah, no, we have a house sitter and alarms and stuff like that. Like, I actually even considered getting a safety deposit box for my watches, and so that's probably going to be the next thing, is just sort of start storing a couple at the bank. Not because they're anything real special, but they're real special to me. And quite frankly, the bank gives me a free safe deposit box, so I think I'm going to put that into use here.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's not that you can't get another watch to replace the watch that you had, the same one, most of your watches, but
right.
You can't get that one back. Like, it doesn't replace what that watch's story, right? Like, it doesn't replace where you bought it, how it was got, there's so much to it. So I totally get that. Sentimental value is a million times more important than monetary value.
100%. And that's, if my Black Bay 1, it was my 25th anniversary watch that I, talk about to the point of nauseum on this show. If that watch disappeared, I'd be gutted. I'd be wildly upset. So I'd rather wear 2 watches, pull the Kevin O'Leary, than leave a watch in a position where I'm not comfortable. I'm kind of weird that way, to be honest with you. I don't know if other people are weird. If you are, comment below. You're probably all weird if you're watching this show, but yeah, it's like I say, the watches I didn't bring go into a safe. Like, it's I don't leave them laying around. So it's I'm getting, as I get older, I'm getting weird, Alex. Like, I'm getting weird about an odd paranoia is creeping into my life that never existed before.
Oh, we're slowly turning into crazy old men. I mean, we're the same age, and I feel like it's funny because I feel like you and I have, obviously we're good friends. We have a lot of conversations just about life and who we are and the stuff we go through, right? And you make comments to me, it's just like, dude, are you in my head? And I know I feel like it often goes the other way. Like I'll say things, and like I think that's why we've become such good friends. Is so much of who you are and how you do things and how you relate to life and see things. I'm there with you, brother. I'm living in this small town and being a little more secluded is making me a little crazier too. So it's really helping. Yeah.
Well, I mean, going crazy for you is a pretty short walk, anyways. So to be in a small place where you're left alone with all those thoughts, maybe a little dangerous for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, actually, I thought about you yesterday on the plane. I was sitting in my seat and a guy walked by and he was wearing a Casio World Timer exactly like yours, but in steel. And I thought, dang, that's a cool watch. Yeah, it was really nice. It was quite nice.
Honestly, I've gone to pull the trigger on that watch 100 different times. I don't know why I haven't. I always say I'm going to, and then I just never do. Right. I will get it in steel one day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool piece. Like, like say you love your digital watches, and that out of all of them has, the dial's fun. Like there's a lot going on there. It's a cool watch.
There's a lot of guys.
So now when you travel.
Sorry, I was just gonna say there's a lot of guys that mod them. And I'll be honest, I do consider, like, if I get a steel one, and I think that's why I haven't just bought one, I kind of feel like I want to get a modded one. I just think it'd be, I don't know, like, I know it's not original and everything, and that's how I usually like things. I just think it adds a level of coolness, because I'll have a second one.
Well, and the thing is, when you buy all these watches, everyone else has the same watch. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's only so many variations of the Black Bay 58 Burgundy. So if you see one, it's either going to be exactly the same dial and bezel, and it'll have a 3-link Oyster style bracelet or the 5-link Jubilee style bracelet. So, that's why I kind of like that difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're on vacation. How are you picking watches? What's a daytime watch? What's being brought for fancy dinners? How are we picking them? How are we wearing them?
Well, it's one of the reasons the Black Bay one. If you've never heard the phrase "go anywhere, do anything," that's a perfect watch to travel with because it is somewhat sporty. And then throw on a dress shirt with that 5-link, Jubilee style bracelet on there, and it dresses it up pretty nice. So, I just try to bring watches that are going to make me smile. Like I wear watches. I'm near the ocean, which I won't go in. That's a different conversation. But there's a pool here, so I make sure I wear something that I can wear in the pool. This watch, for instance, 300 meters, 1,000 feet of water resistance, so I can wear it in the pool. So, but excuse me. The truth is, I just grab watches like I grab my GMT because it's going to be fun to set it. I'll have it set for local time, and then I'll have the third hand set to home time. And that, I mean, as ridiculous as it sounds, that's just fun for me.
I'm actually glad you brought that up. That was the next thing I was going to ask you is, so do you travel with a GMT? Like, do people and drop it in the, drop a comment below. Do you travel with a GMT or a world timer? Do you like to know what local time is, what home time is? And so, yeah, you just kind of answered my question for you, but I think that's an interesting point. Do people do that? Do you care?
Yeah. Yeah. And I know when I was in Europe in 2023, I would, again, I think I traveled with about 6 watches. But yeah, every time I would set that watch, the GMT hand was set to home time, and the regular watch was set to local times. Or I would set it to the next time zone we might be going to. But in Europe, most of the time zones are the same, anyways. But yeah, I set them, I play with it. It's to me that's the whole point of having a watch. It's just that fun time setting it and playing around with it. Like it. Just as an aside, last week I threw on one of my favorite watches, my Tissot chronograph from Pistol Pollock, and I was wearing it, and I got up in the morning and I threw it on and I was drinking coffee and I was getting ready to leave for work and I thought, there was just something I missed about setting my watch this morning. There was just that little part of my routine where I, pull out my timer and set it to satellite time and, turn on lights so I can see better because I'm old and blind, and and so. I was wondering, I was like, I just didn't get that experience of setting my watch and it was the weirdest thought, but I legit was like, man, I missed setting my watch this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. It's funny when I wear quartz watches for a few days in a row. I will often then go to grab an automatic and realize at some point in the morning, I'll be like, oh, well, that's not the right time, because I completely forgot to set it, because I'm just used to throwing on a watch and not thinking about it. You know, few days of digital watches, few days of quartz watches, and you kind of forget.
Yeah, next thing you know, yeah, you're not setting your watches. So
Yeah.
and that's the great thing about a quartz watch, is set it and forget it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, some of these watches are accurate to 10 seconds a year. You'll set them once in your life, as long as you keep if it's a solar or something, you keep the battery alive. You're not going to get that with a mechanical watch. So that to me is one of the really cool thing about quartz or solar watches, and again, if you're traveling, a quartz watch is, pretty slick, because like you say, it's set it and forget it. You go into it and that's done. Like, you're just, for the next 2 weeks. So where me, every time I get up in the morning, I have to set a watch. Now, by my previous statement, I love that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely appreciate the convenience of quartz watches. And a quartz world time watch, now you're talking my language a little bit. Chut-chut. Chut-chut is Russian for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's funny because, it is interesting, because a lot of people love GMT, watch, the GMT movement, and a lot of people don't necessarily have it for any other reason. They love the movement. I know I have a couple. For me personally, my daughter lives in England. So being in Canada and her being 8 hours, difference in me, I always set the other one to her time. So I always know what time it is for her. So that's kind of why I really like having a GMT, because it always, and I tend to often wear them on weekends, especially if we're going to talk, because I can kind of keep track of what time it is. And so that's why I like having it.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is that watch can keep you two connected. Do you know what I mean? Like, it sounds funny, but you get up, set that watch to her time, and for the rest of the day while you're wearing that watch, you'll think of your daughter every time you check that time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I do it. That's why I have it. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah. Speaking of daughters, just to go a little off topic, I've been actually, I buy watches for people in my life, and nothing crazy expensive, but I've been thinking about my daughter recently. Like, man, I think she needs a good watch. So I'm starting to kind of loosely look around, and I got to find out kind of what style she likes. But yeah, I think it's time for my daughter to have her first decent watch.
Yeah. I was going to ask you don't really know what she would be into, or does she even wear watches?
Not that I know of. I mean, I'll force her. There's no question about that. You will wear a watch if you're going to remain part of this family. Yeah. Like my grandson, I bought him a Super Mario watch when he was about 5. And then now I'm even looking at, they're coming to Calgary near the end of March. And I'm already planning to take him to the mall, to the Swatch store, and buy one of them kids' flick-flack watches. Because he's got a digital watch now. I want him to have something with an analog dial to make sure he knows how to tell time properly.
Yeah. No kidding. It's good. Kids need to learn how to do that. It's important.
That's right. Yeah. Now let me ask you: when you travel, what's your criteria? What do you think of when you're packing watches for travel?
So when I travel, I think, the last time I'm trying to think. I haven't done a lot of travel in the last year. The last time we were in Vancouver, that was obviously a different type of trip for me. I was more bringing watches that I wanted to show you, and wanted to be able to wear at the Vancouver Timepiece Show. Yeah. But for me, I'm looking about, what's going to be, we talked about the go anywhere, do anything, the Gata watch, right? Like, I'm kind of looking for a watch that I can wear in a lot of different situations. My watch collection is bigger than it's been, in a lot of my life. So I obviously have more options if I was to travel now, but I'm just looking for comfort. I'm probably packing some watches with rubber straps, something on bracelet for evenings. I just know when I'm somewhere hot or sandy, or like, in the pool or on the beach, I don't mind having a rubber strap on compared to anything else. That's just me. But yeah, I'm just looking to take a cup, and maybe I'd be different at this point because I have some nicer watches depending on what I'm doing. But honestly, I'm probably only packing 3 or 4 watches, just because
3 or 4 watches. Alex, have some pride. 3 or 4.
Well, and I'm saying that, and I'm questioning myself, would I? Because now that I probably have 6 or 8 watches that I love so much that I probably would have to take them all. So maybe as I'm saying that, I realize I'm lying to everyone, including myself.
Yeah, well, and that's why, like, I have 2 of the 3 watch travel rolls from Zellos. Then I have 2 what I call clamshell travel packages from Zellos, and then I bought 6 velour watch envelopes. Actually, 12, six different colors. So yeah, like when I travel and it's all in my carry-on, and I'm telling you, I don't know what it is at the airport. When they see a Bluetooth speaker and watches, I get stopped just about every time going through security. You know? In fact, this trip was one of the first times I didn't get stopped and checked.
Okay, I was just going to ask, because we kind of talked about that on a previous show, or just you and I talked about it, one or the other. But yeah, that's funny. So, are you when you're on vacation? Are you a beach guy or are you a pool guy?
I probably prefer the beach. You know, I mean, it's, to be honest with you, my wife's the water baby. If there's a pool, she'll be in that pool all day, every day, from the time she lands till the time she has to get on that plane. Where I'm more of, I want to be outside, I want to be in the heat, but I can't just sit at the pool or I can't just sit at the beach. You know what I mean? I can only do that for a little while and then I got to find something to do. But yeah, I mean, I definitely, I'm more of a, now here's the thing, I like the beach, but I refuse, and I can't be emphatic enough when I say this, I will not go in the ocean. So take that for what it's worth too.
Okay. Yeah. So the funny thing with me is like, and this is kind of how I think about packing what watches I'm going to take too. So I love the ocean. I love everything about it. I love, like, people, and not to get all corny, but people just say you get to the ocean, it's just like, why don't I live near the ocean? You just feel grounded, standing there barefoot, with your feet in the water and feet in the sand. And I love it. And then I get in.
Yeah, I love the ocean. I'm just not going in.
Yeah. So, and then I get in and I'm having the time of my life and it's so much fun. And then I get that first mouthful of salt water. I'm like, I'm back to the pool. I love the ocean. I love it. My time that I want to spend in it is limited. And then I kind of want to be back in the pool because I love being in the water and, being on vacation. I kind of love being in the pool and being near the bar a little bit too. And I love having a cigar and laying in the shade. The beach is often very hot. So yeah, as much as I can't wait to get to the ocean, I'm the first guy down there and like the first guy like, all right, back to the pool.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, I need shade, right? Like I'm so chubby, I got blood type gravy. So when I start sweating, I can't have all that gravy just leaking out of my pores,
If yours gravy, what the hell am I at?
I've literally, people come by like wipe a prime rib across my forehead and eat it. It's a weird thing.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's great. That's so good. So
now wait for Smartwatch Dick to come out and be like, Jordy, you don't eat gravy with prime rib. It's au jus.
Yeah, you took that one right away from him.
That's right, Dick.
We've talked a few times. Obviously, you pack 7 watches, and talking about traveling with a lot of watches. So you can only take one watch on this trip. Which one?
One of my Black Bays. Because they are, like, especially my Black Bay one, it's truly go anywhere, do anything. So you can kind of hang out by the pool with it. But probably my 58, if I'm actually really thinking about it, because, it's slim enough to fit under a cuff. But it's got enough polish to it to dress it up a little bit. Yes, probably if I have to take one, it'd be my Black Bay 58 Burgundy. How about you?
It's a good choice. Oh, man. If I had to take one watch out of my collection on vacation, I would probably take. It's my Zellos Helmsman. I keep thinking about another. Honestly, my second hour Fusion is probably the other one I would grab because those two are just.
That's a win-win.
Yeah.
You know what? Thinking about, I'd probably go with the Fusion.
I might even lean towards that.
I think
it's just it's a go everywhere, do everything for sure. Yeah, and it's so good. The black dial.
Really
like, don't get me wrong. I think my favorite watch in my collection is, my Duckworth. I love my Rivington, GMT.
That's a great watch.
It's such a great watch. It wears a little big for certain things. Not a knock, not a complaint.
Right.
I love everything about that watch. I would not change a single thing. But I just think for every single thing that I might do, my Zelos, or probably my second hour fusion, that black dial, that it's just the thing is lights out. I had to go into the big city of like 80,000 people yesterday with the wife, and we were going to go out for lunch. I had I had one of my Addie's Dives watches on. Man, I put on my second hour fusion because I'm like, I'm going out to the big city. I'm going to get dressed up. I'm putting on a nice watch. I felt like a king.
Yeah. Gonna look sharp.
Yeah, I was happy. I loved it.
Well,
I was
that's the
happy.
other thing people don't realize. A cool watch just makes you feel better. Like I seen a thing this morning, and I'm gonna change it up. I seen a friend of mine posted a thing and said, there's a reason you never see a muscle car parked outside a therapist's office. And I kind of thought it's the same with watches. Like when I look at my watches, or if I'm looking at watches and listening to music, I don't need therapy. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. My problem is I want to keep buying watches as therapy.
Well, retail therapy is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's good. And I think, talking, you and I have been talking about upcoming episodes. I think one of the things I really want to focus on in the next episode or two for sure is, a lot of our viewers, we talk a lot of fairly high-end watches, especially our last episode there. And I think, you and I know enough about micro brands that it'd be great to come in and say, okay, these are the watches you could buy for less than, say, 1,000 Canadian or 700 Canadian, just so we can give our viewers kind of an idea of what's out there. Because, we talk about Rolexes and all these expensive stuff, and then you and I have our ribbing, our Duckworths and things like that. But yeah, there's such a huge market out there for watches that are well under 1,000. I mean, oftentimes we'll say under $500, but that's usually 500 American, about 750 Canadian. And I mean, the selection of watches in that price range is absolutely incredible. So it's no big shocker either that you and I have the vast majority of our watches are under that value, and B, we have such a vast variety of watches because we do shop under that value.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, there's so many. You and I kind of talked about this past week, when I was saying like, looking at watches and everything. And it's just like my problem with under $1,000 right now is like, I can't choose. Like I'm the type of guy where I need to like, these are the three, pick one. It's
Right.
because then I can probably pick one. But the problem is like, I'll find a watch I like, and then I'll find 6 more brands that I forgot about these guys. Oh, I never heard about these guys. Whoa, look at that. And like the more I look, the more confused I get, the more overwhelmed I get. And every day I'm finding a watch that just blows my socks off. Yeah, I think it's great. I think you and I definitely, especially with the Vancouver Timepiece show coming up, especially highlighting, a lot of the micro brands that will be there. There's going to be a lot of Canadian brands as well, which will be great. Just a little bit of tease. Next week's episode, speaking of Canadian brands, we're going to have a guest on next week. Our first guest, other than Smartwatch Dick, just coming in here slamming us and bolting on us. But yeah,
unfortunately, Smartwatch Dick isn't a guest. Smartwatch Dick is family, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So our first guest next week. So that'll be exciting. So then that'll kind of be our start down the path of going more, talking about micro brands. And yeah, I think it'd be a fun challenge for you and I to maybe come to the show every week and maybe kind of find something, or, every week or two, find a brand or find a watch from a brand that you looked at and went, hot damn, like, well, look at that thing and look at that value and look at this, and just, to keep those conversations going.
Yeah. Well, and the truth is I do that every week myself. You know what I mean?
Too.
Like it's, I'm on a mailing list for a mailing list called Oracle of Time. And, those guys send you at least an email a week. And oftentimes there's 4 or 5 watches that have been released, not just big names, but they also cover some micro brands and whatnot. So yeah, I find myself falling down that rabbit hole once a week, kind of seeing what's been released. And so I think that, I think A, I like doing the research, and B, I think it'd be a great ad for you and I to start really talking about all these new watches that have come down the pipe, because it's so hard. There's so many brands out there, let's just chuck, kind of the top 10 Rolex-y, Longines, AP, Pateks, just push all that aside for a second and talk about how big the space for micro brands is. And when I say micro brands, I'm not just talking under $1,000. You know, there's brands out there that are micro brands that make watches that are in millions of dollars, but they only produce 7 a year.
Yeah, true.
So I think that to me is something that, you know, for our watchers, our viewers, it's really cool to sit and talk about our own collections. But I think too, we have a unique opportunity, especially with some of our friends, to show them a wider world of what's out there than just what they see at the shopping malls when they're walking through. You know, and I think that's kind of where we aim to be, is sort of, in a, you know, not just educational program. You know, truth is, I'm not going to lie, Alex and I do this mostly to entertain ourselves. But really and truly, if there's something, you know, you want to see, you want us to focus on, have any questions about a watch, are we experts? No, but we'll put the time in, research it, and try and find the answers you're looking for as well.
Yeah. And just start having conversations, right? And getting comments going and having people get some input on everything. You know, I think one thing that Jordan and I like to think, you know, and we hope, you know, this comes across to everyone listening and watching, like, we just feel like we're just two guys that talk about watches the way kind of guys talk about watches, you know, like two buddies that just, we sit here and we talk watches. Yeah. Do we get distracted and off course sometimes? Yep. Do we sit here and, you know, smack talk each other a little bit or a lot some days? Yep. But, you know, this is kind of like, this is buddies hanging out. And, you know, I feel like, you know, what is the average guy looking at in the watch world right now? Yeah, a lot of people are buying Rolexes. A lot of people are buying, you know, expensive brands. But there's so much in the micro brand space. And for me, like, there's so much that's exciting that's happening, because you're seeing these companies and these guys make watches that they shouldn't be making for the price they're selling them at. Like, none of it makes sense. But it's happening, and I think it's so exciting. And yeah, you and I are messaging every week. Like I said, I was talking to you about a few watch brands last week, and you're like, what about these guys or these guys? You sent me two, and I don't remember them off the top of my head, but there were two that I'd never heard about, and I'm just like, this is endless. Like, this is absolutely endless.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the one I sent you was Undone Watches, was something I just discovered. Yes. And was not word, started with a W. Was it was Whitby Watch Co. I think I sent you last week.
Yeah, and I've looked at Whitby Watch Co. a lot. Yeah, we did, big fan of them, and we did see them last year. I don't know if we'll see them again this year, but yeah, excited about that. So so I'm actually excited about this stuff coming up too. Yeah.
Well, I have a friend named Kurt Spenrath. One of the most intelligent, most thought out people I've ever met. And this is just kind of going back to us educating ourselves. I threw a Facebook, you know, you did that short because we have a lot of something from our one show. Because I have a lot of something, does that make me an expert on it? And we both admit we're not experts, but we educate ourselves. And I learned a new there's one for you, Rich. I learned a new word from Kurt Spenrath this week, and he used the word, get ready for it, because I'm going to have to. It is autodidactic is the word I learned this week. And literally, this guy writes stuff on my Facebook page. I have to Google it to see what it means. He's like a walking thesaurus. But what autodidactic means is something you take an interest in and go out and pursue and learn yourself. And I'd say definitely when it comes to watches, you and I are autodidactic. So there's the word of the day for you.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. That's a good one. I just learned a new word myself now too. There you go.
Yeah.
Another word I can't
once you learn
probably
you're allowed to go home. Something else for me to murder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you said, when you learn something new, it's time to go home. So let's let you go back.
Actually, I do have one more question before we shut her down. I want to ask you and our viewers. So this watch was purchased on a vacation 2024, November 2024. I was on vacation. I've got a Breitling that I bought on vacation last summer, and then I've got my Tudor Black Bay one that I bought on vacation in 2023. When you travel, do you consider a watch a souvenir? You know, if you're traveling and you see a watch, and price range is, you know, who cares about price range? We're just talking watches right now. Would you consider, like, traveling when you buy a watch, is that a souvenir? Like, oh, geez, you know, I bought this watch here and there. And because I do. So I wonder if other people do as well, you know?
Are you considering a souvenir on this trip?
No. And the only reason is, first of all, I don't know where the watch stores in Belize are. second of all, again, I'm trying to save that budget for the Vancouver timepiece show because I have a feeling something there is going to catch my eye. So yeah, but usually I'm not necessarily looking to buy. It's just I bump into something and buy it. Like this watch I was looking for in Calgary, couldn't find it, and I happened to find it in the jewelry shop on the cruise ship. So it's, you know, and again, it's one of those I will always revert back to being on the cruise. My friends walking by going, "What are you doing?" Is I'm sitting in a jewelry store drinking Prosecco, and they size my new watch. I mean, that's fun stuff to do on vacation.
That's amazing. But yeah, I mean, what a great story, right? Like, yeah, you'll remember that forever.
100%. And so, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that does it, but whether I'm on vacation or not, I'm generally looking at watches everywhere I go. If there's a watch store, I will pop in. I
think I bought a watch once on vacation, and it was my G-Shock.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, I want to say it was California, like in the LA area. Because the only other place we were traveling around that time was we were in Indianapolis for a Colts game, but I'm pretty sure it was like in the LA area. And I found that G-Shock. Yeah. So yeah, I look at watches when I'm traveling too, man. It's not that I don't look to buy them. I just maybe it was just I did a lot of traveling wearing a smartwatch, so I wasn't looking to really replace it. You know. So.
Right. Well, even, you know, when I was in the airport yesterday, I was at the duty free, and I walk into the duty free, and I realized I forgot I didn't bring a pair of sunglasses with me. So now I'm actually shopping for some new sunglasses. And I walk into the one, and I'm looking at sunglasses, and I look up, and there's a big wall of Longines watches in there. And so I start walking over to the watches, and my wife's like, "Hey, where are you going?" And she's like, "Focus." Yeah.
Yeah. Squirrel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's watches. So then I said, okay, you know, I divert my attention back to what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I say to her, actually, like, okay, but when we're done, I'm going back to look at those watches. And then I forgot we had to go in, and I blamed her. I was like, you didn't let me go back and look at Longines watches.
Yeah, obviously. And here, otherwise you'd be telling a story how you got to look at watches, but your wife didn't keep you focused on sunglasses, so now you have no sunglasses.
Yeah, now I'm blind, and I blame her for that too.
Yeah, she can't win. It'd be lose for her either way.
Well, I mean, I guess that's the downside when your wife is everything in your life. It doesn't matter what goes wrong, you point at her because she's everything.
Oh, yeah.
God bless her. God bless her.
Yeah, God bless her indeed. Yeah. God bless her indeed.
All right. Now that I've told everyone how amazing my wife is, should we take it home?
Yeah, let's go home, brother. All right. That was a great episode. I love talking about your vacation watches and what you'd packed and your thought process and everything. Like we said, drop some comments below on how you travel with watches, how you pack them, what you think about, how many you take. I'd love to know how many watches everybody takes on vacation.
I want to hear that in particular. Are you a one watch wonder, or do you drag the whole collection with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for all your support on everything, all your subscriptions and likes. Don't forget to follow along and like and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks again for another great episode, brother. Enjoy your vacation, and I look forward to hearing all about it next week.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you see us in public, don't be afraid to throw up a middle finger.
Yeah, if you're in Belize, go find Jordy and tell him off.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
And slow down, we're out of time. Same watch talk next time.